Have you ever laid in bed at night staring at the ceiling, promising yourself that tomorrow is going to be different? You swear you're going to turn your life around. But the moment that alarm goes off at 7 a.m., all that motivation gets buried right under the blanket. You hit snooze, roll over, and wake up 2 hours later, hating yourself. Sounds familiar? Maybe you've heard about the game changers, the CEOs, the athletes, the visionaries who start their day before the sun even comes up. Maybe you even tried it once or twice. But after 2 days, your body screams no, and your brain tells you, forget it, man, I'm just a night owl. This isn't for me. But what if I told you that the gap between your current failures and the future you dream about is only 1 hour wide? What if I told you that you could grab the pen and rewrite your own destiny before the rest of the city even opens its eyes? This is the story of a guy who was completely lost in the noise until 5 a.m. found him and pulled him out of the crowd. Listen to the end, because this story might just be the U-turn your life needs today. In the middle of a bustling metropolis, let's call it New York City, where the noise of traffic and sirens never really stops, lived a 29-year-old guy named Ryan. Ryan worked as a delivery driver for a food app. His shift started at noon and dragged on until midnight, sometimes 1 a.m. By the time he dragged his exhausted body back to his cramped basement apartment, it was 2 a.m. He'd crash, scroll through his phone, and wouldn't wake up until 10 or 11 the next morning, waking up already feeling tired. His paycheck? Barely enough to keep the lights on. He lived in a damp, shoebox-sized studio in a rough part of town. In the summer, it was an oven. When it rained, the ceiling leaked. His car was a beat-up 10-year-old sedan that rattled every time he hit the gas and broke down at the worst possible moments. But Ryan's real struggle wasn't the poverty. It was the feeling of being invisible. Every day, stuck in gridlock traffic, he'd look into the back of passing Uber Blacks or luxury cars. Through the tinted glass, he'd see guys his own age in suits, typing away on MacBooks, closing deals. When he delivered lunch to the front desks of fancy skyscrapers, he'd see people in glass conference rooms, laughing, brainstorming. Ryan would think to himself, did God put me on this earth just to deliver food to people who are actually living? Will I ever be the guy sitting at the table ordering the food? It's not like he hadn't tried. He bought books on coding, on business, but after driving for 14 hours, the moment he opened a book, his eyes would blur. The exhaustion was so heavy, it felt physical. So he'd just give up, binge-watch mindless videos on his phone, and pass out. Back in his hometown, he had a wife and a little daughter. His wife would call him, often holding back tears. Ryan, honey, enrollment for Sarah's school is coming up. The tuition is due. Do we have the money? Is she going to miss a year? Ryan would lie. He had to. Don't worry, babe. I'm picking up overtime shifts. It's handled. Everything's going to be fine. But deep down, he knew nothing was fine. He was stuck in a rat race. Actually, it was worse. He was on a hamster wheel, running as fast as he could, sweating buckets, but going absolutely nowhere. Waking up at 11, rushing to work, coming back past midnight. He was living life in the passenger seat while someone else drove. A question kept echoing inside his helmet every night. Where is the exit ramp? How do I get out of this loop? The turning point came on a stormy night in July. It was 11:30 p.m. Rain was coming down in sheets. Ryan's old car finally gave up and died on a deserted street. The customer kept calling, screaming at him for the cold food. Ryan, soaked to the bone, trying to push his car to the side of the road, just slumped against the curb. He felt broken, defeated by the city, defeated by luck. That same night, when he finally got back to his apartment, he got a text from home. His younger brother had gambled away their family property. The bank was foreclosing on their parents' house. They were going to lose everything. Ryan sat on his bed, head in his hands. The walls felt like they were closing in on him. He couldn't breathe. He had to get out. He walked out the door. It was 4:30 a.m. The city was unrecognizable. It was quiet.
The streetlights reflected on the wet pavement. The air smelled clean, washed by the rain. No honking, no yelling, just silence. As he walked down the empty street, a thought hit him. I can't do this anymore. Living like this isn't living. It's just breathing. I have to change something. He found himself standing in front of a park. The gates weren't fully open yet, but there was an older gentleman stretching near the entrance. The man looked to be in his 60s, but he stood tall, spine straight, with an energy that didn't match his age. Ryan recognized him. It was Mr. Sullivan, a famous architect. Ryan had delivered dinner to his firm a few times. Ryan was confused. A guy with that much money waking up this early? Curiosity got the better of him. He walked up. Excuse me, Mr. Sullivan, up this early? Mr. Sullivan didn't recognize him at first, but then saw the delivery app logo on his hoodie. He smiled warmly. Good morning, son. I'm always up at this time, for the last 40 years. 5 a.m. is my victory lap. Victory lap? What do you mean? Ryan asked. Listen, Mr. Sullivan said, wiping sweat from his forehead. Most people wake up when they have to, when their boss expects them, or when the bills force them. But I wake up when I want to. From 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., nobody calls me, no emails, no chaos. This is the time I build myself, so for the rest of the day, I can conquer the world. Ryan let out a heavy sigh. Must be nice, sir. But I drive until 1 a.m. I need my sleep. Mr. Sullivan looked him dead in the eye. Do you plan on driving that car for the rest of your life? No, sir. But what choice do I have? The choice is yours, firmly Sullivan said. Clock out at 10 p.m. instead of midnight. You'll make less money, sure, but take those 2 hours of sleep. Wake up at 5 a.m. The people running this city, none of them are hitting snooze until 10 a.m. He put a hand on Ryan's shoulder. Remember this, kid. Those who wake up before the sun are stronger than the sun. If you want to rewrite the script of your life, 5 a.m. is the only pen and paper you've got. Before jogging away, Mr. Sullivan turned back. If you're actually serious about not being a driver forever, meet me here tomorrow. I'll show you how to build a life. But fair warning, it's not for the weak. That night, Ryan made a tough call. He told his supervisor he wasn't taking the late night shift anymore. He was logging off at 10 p.m. His coworkers called him crazy. You're going to lose out on the tips, man. Ryan thought, I'll lose the money, but I'll gain my life back.
The next morning, 5 a.m., the alarm screamed. Ryan's body felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. His eyes burned. His brain whispered, Are you insane? You just quit work at 10. Go back to sleep. But then, the memory of sitting on the curb in the rain hit him. The fear of losing his parents' house hit him. He threw the covers off and jumped up. When he got to the park, Mr. Sullivan wasn't surprised. It was like he knew Ryan would show up. He sat Ryan down on a bench and drew a simple diagram on a notepad. Ryan, your life right now is like a car stuck in traffic with the engine revving. You're burning gas, but you aren't moving. You need to change lanes. He explained the method. What do you want to be? Sullivan asked. Ryan looked down at his sneakers. I used to like drawing, graphic design. I wanted to create things on a computer, but now, no buts. For this 1 hour, you are a student. YouTube is free. There are free courses everywhere. Don't have a laptop? Watch tutorials on your phone. Learn the basics. Go to the public library to practice. The next hour is for your body and your spirit. Work out and pray or meditate. If your body is weak, your mind gives up, and silence will give you the mental toughness to handle the day. Mr. Sullivan gave him 3 strict rules. Consistency, Monday through Sunday, no days off. Digital detox, no Instagram, no TikTok, no news during these 2 hours. Sacrifice, no hanging out late with buddies, no binge-watching shows. You are in bed by 10 p.m., period. Give me 90 days, Sullivan said. Give me 90 mornings, and I'll give you a new life. If you quit halfway, I'll assume you're happy being a delivery guy forever. That challenge hit Ryan like a punch to the gut. I'll do it, sir. Watch me. The beginning was a nightmare. The first week, Ryan felt like a zombie.
Leaving work early meant less cash, which stressed him out. Waking up at 5 a.m. felt like torture. He'd sit at his tiny kitchen table watching design tutorials, fighting to keep his eyes open. His back ached. He wanted to quit every single morning, but he didn't. 1 month passed. The magic started to happen. On day 35, Ryan realized something weird. He woke up before the alarm. Walking in the early morning chill, he felt something he hadn't felt in years: hope. He realized this city didn't just belong to the rich. At 5 a.m., it belonged to him. He devoured YouTube tutorials on color theory, typography, and logo design. He borrowed an old, clunky laptop from a friend and practiced during his lunch breaks in his car. His exhaustion vanished. He used to be grumpy with customers. Now he delivered food with a smile. Why? Because he knew this wasn't his permanent reality anymore. This was just funding his dream. By the end of month 2, Ryan had mastered the basics of Photoshop and Canva. He designed a logo and a banner for a small local deli he delivered to, for free. The owner loved it so much, he tipped him $50. That was the first $50 Ryan ever earned with his brain, not his mileage. He kept that bill in his wallet as a reminder. Month 3. Ryan built a portfolio. Every time he dropped off food at an office, he'd politely ask the receptionist, "Hey, do you guys need any small design work done? I can help out." Most said no. Some laughed. But on day 88, luck struck. He was delivering a massive lunch order to a digital marketing agency. The vibe inside was chaotic. Everyone was stressed. Their lead designer had called in sick, and they had a huge deadline for a client due in an hour. Ryan took a deep breath. He walked up to the manager. "Sir, I don't mean to overstep, but I know design. If you give me a shot, I can try to fix it." The manager looked at him confused, ready to tell him to get lost, but he saw something in his eyes, a quiet confidence. "You've got 30 minutes, the manager said, pointing to a desk. "Don't mess it up." Ryan sat down. All those 5 a.m. mornings, all those tutorials, all that practice came rushing back. He locked in. In 20 minutes, the design was done. The manager stared at the screen. It wasn't just okay. It was clean, professional, and exactly what they needed. "Where did you learn to do this?" the manager asked, bewildered. "I thought you were a driver." Ryan smiled, a genuine smile. "I learn while you guys are sleeping, sir, at 5 a.m. The manager offered him a freelance contract on the spot. "Handle our overflow work. If you're good, we'll bring you on full time." Ryan walked out of that building and called Mr. Sullivan. His voice was shaking. "Mr. Sullivan, I grabbed the steering wheel. I'm driving now." Ryan isn't delivering food anymore. He's a junior graphic designer at that agency. His salary is triple what he made driving. His daughter is in a good school. He paid off his parents' debt and saved their home. But here's the thing. Ryan still wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day. He doesn't have a boss forcing him to. He does it because he knows those 2 hours are what turned him from just Ryan the driver into the man he is today. Now he uses that time to learn 3D animation and read. His friends ask him, "Dude, you made it. You got the job. Why do you still punish yourself with that early alarm?" Ryan just smiles and says, "If you want to change your luck, you have to get out of bed before the sun does. Once the sun is up, everyone else is already running." Guys, Ryan's story isn't a fairy tale. It's proof of willpower. Your life can change too. Not by winning the lottery, not by magic, but by a simple decision you make for tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Most people don't get it. It's not a lack of talent or opportunity that holds you back. It's the habit of wasting your mornings. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the quiet zone. The world is silent. Your focus is 100%. That is the time you do the work that separates you from the crowd. So, I'm giving you the same challenge Mr. Sullivan gave Ryan. Step 1. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. tonight. Put your phone across the room so you have to physically get up to turn it off. No negotiating with yourself. Step 2. Decide right now what you're going to learn in that first hour. Is it a new language, coding, drop shipping, writing? Don't just think about it. Start. Step 3. Get to bed by 10 p.m. Staying up late isn't cool. It's just stealing success from your tomorrow. I guarantee you, If you stick to this routine for 90 days, you won't recognize yourself. You might not be a millionaire in 3 months, but you will become the kind of person who is unstoppable. Ryan didn't have a degree or a fancy laptop. He just had the guts to wake up. You have way more advantages than he did. So, the question is, will you rise tomorrow? Or will you hit snooze and go back to the same old struggles? The future version of you is waiting in that early morning light. Don't let him down. If you are ready to join the 5 a.m. club, hit that like button right now to seal your promise. And tell me in the comments, what are you going to start learning tomorrow morning? I'll be reading your answers. Share this with a friend who talks about changing their life but needs a push. And subscribe, because every week we bring you stories that refuse to let you give up. Remember, just like Ryan, your story is waiting to be rewritten, and the first chapter starts tomorrow at 5 a.m. Good morning, and let's get to work.